Hi yogis, my name is Sara, and today we're going to go through a Vinyasa flow style class focusing on strengthening and lengthening. I like to refer to this as my 5 warrior class because we're going to be going through, you guessed it, 5 asanas that have the name warrior in them and kind of just breaking them down and exploring how they help to strengthen or stretch different parts of our bodies. We're going to begin today by opening up through the hips. So when you're ready, you can come on down to lie flat on your back. Soles of the feet together and knees fall out wide in Supta Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. Maybe you bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And just take a moment here to check in. Check in with how you're feeling in your body. Maybe some areas of tightness. And check in with your breath. Let go of the day so far and just begin to breathe in and out through the nose. Let's take a cleansing breath here together. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale. As always, any of the poses that I offer today are merely optional. The goal of yoga is to really tune in and listen to our own individual, unique bodies. So I invite you to do that today. Make your practice all about you, and if a particular asana is not working for you today, I invite you to focus on your breath. Let's take 5 more breaths here in butterfly pose. Feeling that slight opening through the hips and the inner thighs. Great. Go ahead. Release the hands down to the knees and begin to help them in. Soles of the feet to the mat. Let's take our right foot, cross the ankle on the top of the left thigh. Maybe stay here, or you can begin to pull that left leg in towards you, clasping behind the thigh or in front of the shin for our reclined pigeon. Keep flexed through that right foot to protect the knee. Maybe you rock gently side to side. Go ahead and release the left leg down and switch sides, crossing the left ankle on top of the right. Maybe staying there or pulling the right leg in. Keeping flex through that left foot. Great. Release, bring both feet back down to the mat. Arms out wide. Let's just windshield wiper our legs a bit side to side. And then bring them all the way down to one side for a gentle spinal twist. And go ahead and move to the other side. Knees fall down. Gentle twist through the spine. Bring your knees back to center. Bring them in and give them a squeeze. Maybe rock a bit just to loosen through the lower back. Now from here, we're going to make our way into Tabletop Pose. You can meet us there any way that works for you. One way is to grab behind the thighs and begin to rock back and forth on the spine, just to bring some energy and blood flow into the back body. And when you're ready, come all the way up, cross at the ankles, and make your way into Tabletop Pose. Hands and knees, shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees. Pushing energetically down into all 5 fingers and broadening through the upper back. From here, let's take a round of cat-cow. On your inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And on your exhale, round in. Come back to a neutral spine. Extend the right leg back behind you for a little calf stretch. Ball of the foot on the mat. Just rock gently back and forth here. Now from here, spin your back heel down, kickstand through your left leg and open up. Right hand lifts to the sky into modified side plank. Begin to stretch your right hand overhead. Long side body stretch all the way from your right toes to your right fingertips. And release back down. Let's move to the other side. Left leg extends behind us. Ball of the foot on the mat. Take those calf stretches first. And let's root through that right hand. Open up through the left side body. Left hand lifts to the sky. Modified side plank. Lift your left hand up and overhead. And release back down. From here, let's tuck the toes, walk the hands just a few inches forward and come into our first downward dog. Push into the legs, hips lift up. Maybe for this first dog, you bend into one leg and then the other, stretching through the backs of the thighs and the calves and the feet. Heels energetically reaching down toward the mat. You can keep a nice deep bend here in this down dog if it helps you straighten out more through your back. Remember to push into your index finger and thumb, distributing the weight. Let's hold our down dog here in stillness just for a breath. Now move forward into plank pose, shoulders over wrists. You can always bring your knees down to modify. And from here we'll lower all the way down to our stomachs. Let's lift up into low cobra. Chest lifts, head lifts, hands lift. Feet are energetically pushing down into the mat. And exhale, release. Push up and back through tabletop to down dog. Now from here, on your next inhale, reach the right leg back, bend through the right knee and open up through that hip. Come back to a three-legged dog and step that foot forward between your hands. Now if this is a tough transition for you, you can always come back down to tabletop and then bring your right foot between your hands. That's always a more accessible way to get that foot from down dog all the way up in between your hands. So now we're going to meet in low lunge. Keep your fingertips on the floor for this one. Just extend the head forward and look up, stretching through the hips. Make sure that right knee is stacked over your right ankle. And let's move back into our half split, straightening through the right leg. Walk the hands back in line with your right knee. Straighten through the spine on your inhale, and exhale, go ahead and fold over that right leg. A nice hamstring stretch here. All of these warm-ups prepping us for our warriors to come. And inhale, come back, frame the front foot. Step that right foot back and meet back in downward facing dog. From here on your next inhale, lift that left leg up to the sky. Bend through the left knee and open up through the left hip. Come back to a three-legged dog and step that left foot forward between your hands. Lower the back knee down and you're in your low lunge on this side. Left knee stacked over left ankle. Fingertips on the mat. Extend the head forward. And stretch through that hip. Begin to straighten through the left leg, come into half split on this side. Walk your hands back in line with your left knee. Inhale to straighten and lengthen through the spine, and exhale to fold over the left leg. Walk your hands back to frame your front foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right into plank pose. Lower the knees, lower the chest all the way down, Vinyasa. Inhale, low cobra, chest lifts. Exhale, release. Back into downward facing dog. Great job, yogis. Take a big breath in here and exhale. On your next inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky, and exhale, pull the right leg through. Spin the back heel down at a 45-degree angle. Bend through the right knee and come up into warrior one. Now I like to start my warrior one with my hands on my hips, kind of guiding them to try to be square to the front of the mat. Every body is different. Your hips may never fully square to the front. Once you feel aligned, you can bring your hands up to the sky, warrior one. Try to keep a nice steep bend through that right knee. Strong and energetic through that back leg. Now from here, bring your hands to clasp behind your back. Go ahead and look up, stretching through the chest, and begin to bow forward, coming into humble warrior. Our right shoulder is going to come close to our right knee, maybe even touching it, and your clasped hands can come up and overhead. Great chest opener here, as well as leg strengthening. You begin to feel it. Inhale, come back up into warrior one. Spin that back heel, so it's now you're on the ball of your foot in crescent lunge. Heel is off the mat. Exhale, open into a side twist, left hand forward, right hand back. Come back up into crescent. And release back down. Let's flow through our Vinyasa plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. All the way down or halfway. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. And step your left leg through between your hands. Spin your back foot down and come up into warrior one on the left side. Maybe your hands start on your hips to try to guide your hips to be square to the front. Nice big bend through your left knee. Energetic through the back leg. And when you're ready, lift your hands up to the sky, warrior one. Bring your hands back behind you and clasp maybe the more unusual way, the more unusual thumb on top. Begin to push down through your hands to lift your chest, creating space before we begin to bow forward into humble warrior on this side. This time your left shoulder will be coming toward your left knee. Inhale, come back up into warrior one, hands lift. Spin up to the ball of your foot, so now you're in crescent lunge with your heel lifted. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back into your twist. Inhale, back up to crescent, and exhale, down. Plank pose and move through your Vinyasa. Chaturanga, to upward facing, or low cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here in our down dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg and step the right foot between your hands. Come up into high lunge. You've been here before. Exhale, go ahead and twist. Right hand forward, left hand back. This time, bring your left hand to the back of your left thigh. Right hand lifts to the sky. Come back up into high lunge. And let's open up through the other side this time. Left hand forward, right hand back. This time bring your right hand to your back leg and your left hand extends up to the sky. And we're an Exalted Warrior. I always feel a large side body stretch in this pose into my left side of my hip. Come back up into high lunge. Spin the back heel down, parallel to the short edge of the back of the mat. Open up into Warrior Two. Big bend through that right knee. Inhale, begin to reach forward with your right hand and trace a line all the way up to the sky, reversing your warrior. Come back into Warrior Two. Bring your right elbow to the top of your right leg. Left hand spins all the way up, bicep by the ear. Great, come back into Warrior Two. And spin the hands down, come back into plank and move through your vinyasa. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg. Step your left hand through. And come up into your Crescent Lunge on this side. Let's move into our twist. Right hand forward, left hand back. Bring that left hand to the back of your right thigh as you trace a line with your right fingertips up to the sky. Exalted Warrior. Come back to your Crescent Lunge, both hands lift. Spin the back heel down, parallel to the short edge of the mat, and open up into Warrior Two. Big bend through the front knee, knee stacked over ankle, arms energetically reaching forward and back, and maybe a gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left hand lifts. And exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow comes to the top of the left knee, right hand up and overhead. Exhale, release. Bring both hands to the mat, step back into plank and move through your vinyasa. Exhale, lower. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and bring the knees down for a moment. Bring them out wide and settle the hips back into a child's pose. Maybe your hands come together into prayer and then up and over, thumbs to the nape of your neck. Or just a little bit of an additional tricep stretch here. Just take a couple breaths here before we move into our last flow sequence. Extend the arms back out, come back up into tabletop, and let's meet in our downward facing dog. Last flow sequence here. We're going to inhale, extend the right leg back, And step it through between the hands. We're going to meet in our Crescent Lunge yet again. Arms lift. This time, bring your hands together at heart center and begin to bring the chest forward. We're going to kick off through our back leg and come into our last warrior, which is Warrior 3. Standing on the right foot, left leg lifts, and try to bring your torso no more than parallel to the ground. Hands can stay at heart center. They can be airplaned behind you, or for an added challenge, they can be up and overhead, biceps by the ears. From here, maybe you bring your hands back to heart center if they aren't already. Really root down through that right leg and come up to standing on the right, bringing your left leg in towards you. You can hug it in with your hands. From here, we'll move into tree pose. Your left leg can kickstand at your ankle, be up on your calf, or all the way up into your inner thigh. Wobbling is welcome here. Just be sure that you're energetically opening up through the left knee. And if you're ready, you can extend your arms up into any variation that works for you. Great job, yogis. Release. Hug your left knee back in. And from here, we're going to transition back into Crescent Lunge, moving through Warrior 3. So bring your hands to heart center again. Begin to kick that left foot back, pausing in Warrior 3. And then gently setting the left foot down on the mat to come back into your Crescent Lunge. Arms lift. Bring the left hand forward, right hand back. Right hand to the back of your left thigh. Let's come into Exalted Warrior one more time. And windmill the hands down. Move through your Vinyasa. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Great job, yogis. One more side. Inhale, lift through the left leg. And exhale, step the left leg through between the hands. Come up into your high lunge on the left. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to begin to move into Warrior 3 on this side, leaning our chest forward. Begin to kick off your back leg and hover it over the ground. Strong through the left leg. Right leg is lifted. Maybe your hands stay where they are. Come back to airplane or extend up overhead. Really root down through that left leg. Gently bend through the knee slightly as you begin to bring your right leg through and up to standing on the left leg. Hugging the right knee in. Let's move into tree pose on this side. Try to place your right leg wherever you placed your left. And open up through the right knee. Maybe you take a different arm variation this time. Another one you can try is reverse prayer. Bringing your hands back behind you into prayer. Great job, yogis. Release. Squeeze your right leg back in. And let's move through Warrior 3 back to our Crescent Lunge. So hands come to heart center. Kick your right foot back behind you, pausing in a Warrior 3. When you have your balance and you're ready, bend gently into your left leg and see how lightly you can step your right foot back into Crescent Lunge. Arms lift. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Left hand to the back of your thigh. Reach your right hand up. Exalted Warrior. And exhale, release. Kneel the hands down and move through your last Vinyasa. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. Great job, yogis. Begin to lower the knees. Come all the way down to your sit bones and extend the left leg out in front of you. Let's move into a one-legged forward fold here. Square your shoulders over that extended leg, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold. Inhale, release. Let's take our right hand back behind us and lift into your chest and hips for baby wild thing. Pushing into the right knee and the left foot. Left hand reaches overhead. And exhale, release. Let's bring the right leg out this time. Sole of the left foot comes to the inner edge of the right thigh. Square your shoulders over that extended leg. Lift your hands to the sky and exhale, release. Folding over the right leg. And breathe. Really starting to slow down the breath here. Come back up. Bring your left hand back behind you as you lift through the hips, pushing into the left knee and the right foot, and lifting your right arm up and overhead for baby wild thing. And exhale, release. Bring both feet to the mat and let's slowly release all the way down onto our backs, vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you arrive, extend your left leg out long, squeeze your right knee in. Maybe bring that right knee a bit closer out to the side. And exhale, move into a twist, bringing the right knee all the way across the body. Right arm out to the side, and maybe you look over toward your right fingertips. Now, did you catch all the warriors we went through today? We went through Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Warrior 3. Then we did Exalted Warrior, one of my favorites. And Humble Warrior, which is a phenomenal chest open. Technically, we also did reverse warrior, but I kind of consider that part of warrior too. Bonus warrior today. Inhale back to center. Switch legs, bring your left knee in, extend your right leg out long, squeeze the left knee in and move it a bit out toward the side. I don't know about you, but my hips feel phenomenally more open than they did when we first started. Exhale, bring the left knee all the way over to the side, extend out through the left arm, and look over the left fingertips. Great job, yogis. Come back to center. Bring both knees in and give yourself one final squeeze. Maybe lift up through the head and see if you can bring your forehead to touch your knees. Squeeze in and exhale, release. Release everything down. Come into your final resting pose. Legs out long, hands out wide, palms face up. Maybe you close down the eyes or have a soft gaze. Just release here. Let's take a few closing, cleansing breaths to end class today. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Nothing to do here but give yourself a few moments in stillness. Shavasana. As always, I invite you to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as your day allows. If you're ready to return to the rest of your day, begin to gently wiggle through the fingers and the toes, moving into the ankles and the wrists. Maybe stretching your hands up overhead for a long body stretch. And rolling over to your right side. You can use your bicep as a pillow. The fetal position symbolizes rebirth. And coming out of Shavasana, I always like to think and question, with what energy would I like to return to the rest of my day? What energy would you like to bring with you? Push into your hands and come up to seated. Eyes can stay closed. Come to a comfortable seat with your hands at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. Let's bow in gratitude to ourselves for taking this time on our mats. Have a wonderful day, yogis. Namaste.